great. It's like, I want to do League of Legends. Okay, cool. You any good at it? No. Okay. Your personality's got to be fucking great then, because there's a lot of really popular LoL guys right now who are both good at it and have good personalities. Be terrified. You know, Civ HD is one of the most successful on YouTube right now. And holy crap. Like, he has great personality and he's really good at the game. Like, not super pro level, but really good. And he's insane. Like, his views... I mean, obviously, he doesn't put out that many videos. Like, he put out 5 in the last month. But he gets more views on his League of Legends videos a lot of the time than I get on my videos. So, just consider that. It's scary. It's difficult. Really difficult to actually get to that level. Consider that and be careful. And watch out for content ID, obviously. I would never go into YouTube with the intent of monetizing right now because it's just... you know, it's so dicey. I would wait for things to calm down. Do it as a hobby. Maybe you get to monetize a few things. Maybe you get an audience and you can stream. Never go into it as a business. Not initially. You know, you can turn it into a business later on. You don't necessarily have to be a business otherwise. So that is something to consider there. Ooh, Impact is getting nidused. That is not pleasant. Not at all. Where is units, actually? Are they both nidusing each other? Oh, for the love of God. They're both nidusing each other. Well, that was unexpected. Oh, pool's gonna go down. Nice move there by TLO, actually. Really nice. Gotta say. That was pretty good. Nobody expects the double Nidus play. Nobody. Queen's working on the Nidus worm right now. This is a good series. Really good. Okay. So. Let us continue. Get another question here. It's clicking. I can hear it. I don't like it. Alright, here we go. In a recent podcast with Matt Lees, you all discussed tabletop games and your enjoyment in them. I've played Battlestar Galactica, so what other games could you recommend from there? What are your top 5 or top 10 tabletop games? Well, if you like Battlestar Galactica, you need to be looking into anything that's kind of got these werewolf mechanics, the betrayal idea. That's something that is really, really cool, and it's something that has been done in a few games recently. The original game to really do that was Shadows over Camelot. Yeah. And the thing is, I don't really think that Shadows over Camelot is actually a better game than Battlestar Galactica. I do feel that Battlestar Galactica is better than that, so it's hard to really recommend going for Shadows over Camelot as a result of that, but maybe if you get the expansion from it, you can maybe justify playing it. I still think the Battlestar is a better game, both thematically and in terms of mechanics, though. So that's something to consider. Aside from that, I don't know enough about board games to really recommend those that have those kind of mechanics, but if you want different games that are really, really good, then you've got Arkham Horror, which is... It's quite complex, but it's good nonetheless. Yeah, it's a really fun game if you can get the hang of it, and it's something to consider there. You certainly should look into trying to get a hold of that. Or Eldritch Horror, which is like, it's kind of the newer variant of it, I suppose, which is apparently just a little bit easier to deal with. Other games that I really like playing are Warhammer Chaos in the Old World. That, I think, is great. If you like Warhammer, then obviously it's really awesome to play that. But even if you don't, the idea of playing different gods that all have different agendas and power sets and can all win in different ways, you can win in like 3 different ways. And each of them is sort of leaning towards a particular win, but... Oh, we're just going to take a 4-kill right here. Impact just smacking down TLO right now. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Going for the all-kill. Impressive. The point of Mark of Chaos is to take over the old world and win in a different in 3 different ways, I believe. And you do it by taking territory with demons and defending that territory and collecting warpstone and corrupting territory and also fighting against the kind of the old world as well as the Chaos Gods. So to me, that's a really interesting game, and we like to play that a lot. We break that out time and again. Really, really fantastic game. If you're looking for card games, Android Netrunner and Dominion right now are probably the 2 hottest. They're looking really, really great right now, and everyone seems to be loving them a lot. Dominion's a very classic kind of deck building game. And then we've got Android Netrunner, which is an LCG. So you do have to buy kind of a few boxes of it, but there's no random cards in it. It's not like a collectible card game with random cards. You buy the boxes and you get a set. Maybe you have to buy the same box twice to really get enough, but it's a better model, in my opinion, for people who just want to play that casually. So there's those two card games. Betrayal at House on the Haunted Hill, actually. Is it Betrayal at House on the Hill? Yeah, I always forget the title of that. I actually bought that quite recently. We played it, and I liked it. Yeah, Betrayal at House on the Hill. That has some kind of Battlestar-ish mechanics, but it's a two-phase game. So you start by exploring the house, and then shit goes down, and then someone is a traitor. But they didn't know it before that, and you both have a different set of books and scenarios that you have to play with. So I like that one, too. What other games have I played? Tannhauser and the Doom game as well. I absolutely love both of those. Apparently, the Gears of War game is really good, and that's just been reissued here. So, this is quite surprising for a lot of people, I think, to see that the Gears of War game is actually good, but it is supposedly really, really good. And I like the Doom game. I especially like the Doom game because it's co-op against a Dungeon Master, which I think is a really nice mechanic, and the expansion for that's really good too. So we played the Doom game, and we had a lot of fun with that. Those would sort of be my recommendations, kind of off the cuff. The thing is, right now I'm in an experimentation phase where I'm trying a lot of different board games out with the family to see what works and what doesn't. So I actually have a ton of games downstairs that I've never tried before, and I'm really looking forward to doing that, especially when people come over for Christmas, because then we'll have more players for it. So there you go. That's sort of, I suppose, my recommendations, as it were. Alright. Go on to the next one. Given your massive and well-deserved success on YouTube, thank you. Was there ever a moment, maybe a period where... Oh, hang on. Oh, no, it's not the same one. I thought this was the same question, but it's quite similar. Was there ever a moment, maybe a period in which things weren't going so well as you'd hoped, that you considered quitting or even getting part-time or normal job? Or was it a case of never looking back? Do I have a plan B? I have lots. I have a plan B, C, D, and E, right? And that's assuming that YouTube goes south, which for me it probably won't, because again, I'm a managed partner, so I'm very protected, which is a very fortunate position to be in, but I helped build the network up a lot over the last 3 years. I have a big channel, and the only copyright strikes I've ever had were completely unjustified and in some cases illegal. So, you know, I'm not a risk for the network. But anyway, I have lots of different plans, yeah? Many of them. Either I go to... there's different services that I can go to. Like, Maker already owns Blip, right? So we actually have kind of a bolt hole to go to if YouTube goes completely tits up. I still have my Twitch account, and I can stream a lot there. And I also have connections to a couple of other streaming providers that would be able to provide me a place to go. So I've got a lot of different plans. I wouldn't worry too much about it. And I actually diversify my revenue streams as well, which is, like, absolutely what you should do. You should never rely on YouTube solely for income because it's too unreliable. So I diversify my revenue streams. I could just stream a lot. Some of my content would actually work pretty well as streamed. I could even make kind of a weird sort of web TV channel where I'll make videos and I'll kind of schedule them to be aired on something like Twitch. That would work pretty well too. So yeah, there's lots of ways. Lots of ways to pull it off. I've never, ever had a bad enough month to think that I've had to go back to another job. No, not even close. Like, the size of my channel, that's just not even possible. It would literally require everyone to just up and leave in one day. And even then, I'd probably still be okay on the basis of my back catalogue. So, no, that's never happened. Alright, let's continue. This will go on for as long as it takes, by the way. It's just the way of it. I will answer all your questions. It's the least that I can do. Come on, you give me $5 a month. The least I can do is sit here and answer your questions for a few hours. Okay. Do you consider yourself as someone who a certain British show would refer to as a petrol head? If so, what car do you drive? What car would you love to drive? Oh, that's a cool question. I like that. Okay, I actually can't drive. I don't have a driver's license. I didn't have a reason to get one. When you're at university, having a driver's license is just suicidal because you become, like, the go-to guy that becomes relied upon. You could never afford the petrol anyway. We'd never have a place to park, you know? I would never park out on the street. We had a guy that did have a car. His car got broken into, like, twice in a year because we lived in a relatively rough end of Leicester. So, absolutely not. And then when I went to America, obviously I didn't get one there. I'm probably going to get one in 2014. I think that's almost a certainty because it would be nice to be able to have the freedom around here and not rely on the missus to drive. What car do I want to drive? I have kind of 2 dream cars right now. Actually, no, that's not true. I have 3. The first one is a 2014 Stingray. Yeah. So it's the Stingray Corvette. The 2014 Stingray Corvette is goddamn sexy. Unbelievably so. I don't usually like Corvettes. I really don't like the shape of them, but the 2014 Stingray Corvette is just gorgeous. Got the lines on that thing. It looks like fierce, but also elegant in a way. So I really like that. The 2014 Stingray Coupe is the... It's just gorgeous. Holy crap. I'll show you some photos of this thing. It's just lovely. Love the design of the back in particular. I'm just gonna screen region this. There we go. So, yeah, this is what this beast of a thing looks like. It is just lovely. Look at that thing. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, definitely one of those. Yes, maybe, probably in black. I mean, just the black is really nice. A matte black, definitely matte, not glossy. Look at it, look at it! God, it wants to be in my garage right now. Look at it. So yeah, there's that. And the other 2 would be, like, these are kind of more within the reasonable range. A Tesla, probably a Tesla Model S or whatever the next one is. I like to save up and get one of those. I like the idea of having an electric car because we do a lot of runabout stuff around this area and don't necessarily travel too far. So an electric car would work really, really well. Oh, man. The Sending in Snoot is the final. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright. And the final car is a Lotus Esprit. Like, the old Lotus Esprit. Oh, man. It was mostly because I played a lot of Lotus Turbo Challenge 2. Are they making a new one? Yeah, they are. They're making a new Lotus Esprit. I don't know if I'd go with that, though. I'm looking at the 2013 Lotus Esprit. And, I mean, it looks okay, don't get me wrong, but it's too curvy. Like, no, a Lotus Esprit is supposed to look like... It's supposed to look like this. Let me show you. It's supposed to look like that. Yeah? That's a Lotus Esprit right there. Boxy, angular, mean-looking bastard of a car. And way too big. Like, that is a damn sports car. I would love one of those. A little pop-up headlights. It's 90s as all hell. Yeah. Those would be the 3 cars that I would go for. Those are kind of my dream cars. I have no idea whether or not I could ever afford any of them, but yeah. Alright, let us continue. I will not drive a Winnebago. That's not going to happen. Damn you, chat. What did you like or hate most about living in Newcastle? What I liked most was the selection of pubs. Very good for that. There's a lot of, like, really quiet pubs in Newcastle as well as a lot of really rowdy bars. So you could go to a lot of quiet pubs and just chill with your friends. I used to go out a lot. That was, when I need to get away from the internet, I would just go to the pub and I'd call up a few of my friends like, we're going to the pub, guys. Get on the metro, go to the pub, and just, you know, relax. I also like the fact that there was a store like Traveling Man, which was I mean, it still is an incredible store for board games, card games, and comic books and things like that. It's also just a nice town to just wander around in the town center. There's a lot of really nice little stores that have really cool stuff in them and good places to eat, so that was that. What I hate most about it? Chavs. I mean, what else would you hate, really? Absolutely chavs. Chavs on a Friday night. I never went out on a Friday night as a result, because it was a pain in the ass. Absolute pain in the ass. So yeah, there you go. There's my Newcastle. Okay. I was interested to know your relationship between yourself and Charla Para del Rego. Okay, so the relationship between me and Charlie Para comes down to the fact that I actually just, like, stumbled across his videos at one point, and I liked them a lot. And he was pretty small back then. And I started just liking his videos, so I really liked his guitar sound. It was really well produced. A lot of people recommend me guitarists that do remixes of video games. These, more often than not, the guitar just doesn't sound all that well produced. And as a direct result, I think it's the kind of thing that I'm really attracted to. I really like to listen to really well-produced, good-sounding guitar music. And Charlie Parra did that really, really well. I wonder which was the first one that I liked. I think it wasn't one of his Doom ones, no. It was... I'm going to go back in his back catalog here, and I'm going to try and find the first video of his that I actually liked. And eventually, by the way, like, we got in touch because I was promoting his videos a lot, and he was thanking me for that. And he's like, if I can ever do anything for you, just let me know. And I said, you know what I really need? I need a new piece of theme music. Because back in WoW Radio, I was using some stuff from Pirates of the Caribbean, which obviously, like, I'm not legally allowed to do. So, like, I've got to change this to something that's better. So, I did that, and he actually wrote the music, and it was pretty great. It worked out really, really well. I think it was... What was the first one? Looking back, I think it was the Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer mashup that he did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. And then Speedfucks, which was really, really good too. And also, funnily enough, his Lady Gaga remix was just incredible. It sounded really, really good. So, yeah, that was how we got together, really. Learned a lot, learned a lot about his music, got in touch with him, promoted his stuff, continued to promote his stuff because it's still really, really great, and I hope that he does really well. Okay, let us continue. So that was the second page of questions. I've got 2 more pages of questions, and then I'm going to chat Q&A stuff. Obviously, if you miss any of this, I am going to put this on YouTube because the demand was so high last time. It will go up on YouTube, so please do not worry about that. Besides board games, novels, and miniatures, what specific types of games and content would you like to see coming from the 40k universe or Warhammer? Well, I've never really cared too much about Warhammer Fantasy, so that's not something that you really need to worry too much about. I'm not going to talk about that. But what I'd like to see are just better games in general. I'd also like to see games that didn't focus on Space Marines. I think they could do a Call of Duty style game with Imperial Guard really, really well. Yeah, just have multiple different characters. You know, have them pretty much all die because, you know, why the hell not? That's the way it really should end up going there. Just go for that. And also just really push the angle of different races, not just, hey, it's against orcs or it's against chaos or something like that. It's just got to be a bit better than that. You've got to see more. The 40k universe is actually really rich in terms of the number of actual characters it's got in it, a number of different races, and the different variants of those races. Is this going to be an all-kill? I'm just watching this match. All the queens are dead. This could be an all-kill right here, which would be incredible. I would love to see another FPS, certainly. Dawn of War 3 would be great. I don't necessarily... I think maybe they have to go back to the more traditional style. I do like the way that they did the single player in Dawn of War, but I think it hurt the multiplayer greatly. So that was something to consider there that really didn't work out so well for them, and I'm really hoping that they eventually get that sorted out. I wonder how well that attack actually did. I don't know if it did as well as it was supposed to. We'll see. What else would be really, really good? Another turn-based strategy would be pretty good in the vein of something like, say, Final Liberation. I think that worked out pretty well. It was a very strong game for what it was. And I'm hoping that that will end up happening. So we'll see how that one goes. Ooh, Snoot just made a big mistake. Catch him, get him. Stab him. Eat all of those lings. I don't believe he went out on the map with slow lings. That was actually insane. He just really gave his advantage away there. Now he's going for it. Let's see how he goes. What else? I'd also like to see something focused on some of their older, more specialist games like Necromunda. I think Necromunda is a really strong property to make a game in, and I'm just quite surprised that they've never tried to do that and just leverage that property, because it's a really grim, dark, kind of gritty ganger world. It would be really interesting, I think, for a kind of Mass Effect style game. And that would work really, really well. So that's definitely something to consider there too. What else? I'm just watching this match. Is this going to be the end of him? I think we got him. I think we got him. This is looking really, really good right now. Come on, get him. That's all of his drones. Get him. It's going to be an all kill. Come on. Sorry, if you're not watching this, you've got to. This is like, our newest player is about to all kill Team Liquid. It's ridiculous. Yes! You absolute fucking genius. Oh my god. I don't believe he pulled that off. What the fuck? He just all killed Team Liquid. 5-0. Oh my god, that's incredible. And he did it mostly through his EVZ, which is his weakest matchup. I can't believe it. Well, that was that decision vindicated. Few people asked why did we hire him? That's why we fucking hired him. He's got so much potential. Holy shit. Holy shit. Someone's getting a good fucking Christmas bonus after that. I'll tell you that for a fact. Incredible. Incredible performance. Brilliant. Oh, believe it. Don't get me wrong, I had some faith in the guy, but that was just demolition. Incredible. Alright, anyway. Sorry. Back to it. Yeah, that one, Necromunda needs to be done. I like the fact that Blood Bowl 2 is coming out. That's cool, but I need them to not just make straight conversions of games. Like, because we got a straight conversion of Chainsaw Warrior, and it sucked. We just use the themes. Like, the strongest thing about 40k is the universe. Use the universe to create something new. Don't just convert the board game. I don't actually want to see Warhammer on a computer. I want to see something based on Warhammer on a computer. I really do. That would be cool. Incidentally, by the way, guys, I'll probably be looking at this interview. Actually, nah, never mind. I'll watch it on the VOD later. I'm still sort of flitting between Ace of Team Story Cup and this. Alright, let's do some more questions. Then maybe I'll take a quick break, because I've been going for about an hour and a half now. What would be the TB desired build for entry into live streaming on Twitch or vids on YouTube? Ooh, that's a hard one. That's actually really difficult. I don't generally do that. So I don't do an awful lot of advice stuff when it comes to building PCs. You don't have to have a super powerful PC, because really you've got to capture at 1080p 30. Yeah? If you can do that, you're okay. Now, there's numerous products that will help you do it. I use software capture because my PC is really powerful and can keep up with it. But if you need something like hardware capture, then look into AverMedia's stuff, because that's really, really good at what it does. There's several AverMedia cards that really take the load off in terms of capture, and actually have their own capture software built into them. I don't know what they export as. Hopefully MP4. But if they don't, then that could be a bit of a problem to edit. But there are some numerous products with them for capture. The Game Capture HD2 is on its way. There's an HD Easy Recorder Plus, Game Capture HD, and Live Gamer. Live Game is better for streaming, Game Capture HD better for VOD stuff for the most part. And then you have Game Broadcaster. I've used Game Broadcaster, I've used Live Gamer, and both of them have been pretty good. Yeah, they've been a bit fiddly, but yeah, they're not too shabby. So those are things that I would look into, honestly. I would absolutely have a look at that. And then build-wise, I mean, you don't have to go super powerful. You know, i5 these days is probably good enough, or some of the sort of mid-range stuff from AMD. Go full-on price performance. Go to build a PC. You can definitely build a PC that's powerful enough to play the latest games and actually capture in decent quality for less than $1,000. No problem at all. In fact, the capture card is going to be one of the most expensive components of that. Sorry, I'm still psyched about this win. Fucking hell. Impact is so good. Damn right. So good. So good. Alright, let's go into the next one, shall we? This is a cool one. This is a bit of a controversial one, so here we go. would you say me paying $5 a month through Twitch makes up for the fact that I use adblock in your videos? And 2, do you think a large chunk of your YouTube subscribers would agree to pay $5 a month for watching them? I hate the idea of paywalling content, and you might say, well, you paywall your VODs. Yeah, but that's not the same thing. I still do the stuff live, and with 90% of the stuff, I also upload it to YouTube anyway, so it's really more of a convenience thing. Does $5 a month make up for using adblock? Like, absolutely it does. It really, really does. I don't get all of that $5, but I get the lion's share of it. So even with the lion's share, it is vastly more valuable than you watching ads would be. Yeah. The thing about the ad-supported model is it's the best and fairest model for everybody. And I like offering an alternative to those who really want to use adblock. As I've said it before, obviously I don't agree with adblock because obviously I make my money that way. And a lot of people do. And a lot of people are not kind of as fortunate as me because they don't make as much. So people ad blocking can quite literally make or break them. And this applies to websites as well. I still think the ad-supported model is the best if ads don't take the piss. And ads on YouTube, in my opinion, don't take the piss. Yeah, there are some websites that really fucking spam ads everywhere, but on YouTube, it's an ad at the front, and that's really it. That's all you have to deal with. And I think that's very fair. Like, a 30-second ad for 15 minutes of content is way better than any other medium. Any other medium. It's phenomenal, really, when you think about it. But some people use adblock and they have their reasons, and I'm not going to convince them otherwise by shaming them. That's the view that I take. It's like, you can't shame people into not using adblock. You just piss them off. Don't do that. They'll feel righteous because they'll say, oh, you're a dick, so I'm going to adblock you. And that's going to hurt you in some way. Well, you know, newsflash for a channel of my size, if you're adblocking me to be vindictive, well, 1, you're probably not watching this video, and 2, well, I'm really sorry that I'm now missing out on a fraction of a cent from you. Because that's really how much it's worth, you know? That's how CPM goes. That is how CPM is. It's per 1,000. It's measured in per 1,000 because the individual views are worth so little in general. But yeah, $5 a month really does make up for it, and I do not... I don't want to go after people for using adblock because it doesn't make any sense, you know? I try and educate people to the way that the business works, and more often than not, it gets me bitten in the ass. And that's really annoying because I try to be transparent about things. And that often involves just being brutally honest with everybody, and I think that the biggest respect that you can give to your subscribers is to be brutally honest and not lie to them. I hate it when people lie to their subs and just say, oh, you know, you're my family and friends. Like, no! That's really unhealthy. Like, you're misleading people, especially people that are maybe really vulnerable right now. I don't like that. And it's the same with the business. I want to be as transparent as I'm allowed to be. I stop at talking about my income because, 1, well, there's terms in the contract which says you shouldn't, and just recommendations as well. I consider that. It's not even just about NDAs or anything like that, because a lot of people said, oh, there's no NDAs in there. Yeah, well, on some contracts there isn't, but it's just... You don't talk about the amount of money you're making because it makes people feel uncomfortable. People get really weird around money. Even other YouTube partners get jealous of YouTube partners. There was an incident a while ago that I heard of where some guys were doing a brand deal. Yeah, and Polaris does this, and Machinima, and all sorts of networks. They do brand deals, and their promotion of a particular product, they're usually really, really lucrative. I do them every now and again. I just did one for Chivalry, and again, very lucrative. But the thing is, people get paid based on how effective they are. So, if I have a larger channel and I know I can reach a wider audience, I'm probably going to get paid more than Joe Schmo Little channel over here. And what happened was that accidentally one of the bigger channels' invoice got sent to one of the smaller channels. The smaller channel got really mad about it. And I'm saying, look, the reason that you're getting paid less is because you offer less. It's not a slight against you. Not everybody can bring in that many viewers. Not many people can do that. So, consider that, yeah, some people are going to make more money than you. And I think this actually also comes down to the idea of, is it fair that I make more money than nurses? Yes and no. Like, on a purely moral standpoint, if we're purely based on meritocracy, no, it's not fair, because nurses have a way harder job, and they've got to be way more educated to do it than I have to be to do my job. But if you look at it from a number standpoint, it is entirely fair. In fact, I actually get paid less, way less, than I would if I had this kind of audience on TV. Like, I'd be able to demand far higher CPM, and I'd run more ads too, because that's how TV is. That's how you've really got to look at it. And the problem is a lot of people can't do that. They can't disconnect the business reality from kind of this personal feeling of justice. It's a bit naive, but I totally get where it's coming from. Because no, it's not fair. Like, teachers should earn way more than they do right now. Why do teachers not earn more? 1, they're government employees. 2, there's a lot of them. A lot of teachers. Compare the number of teachers in the world to the number of high-grossing YouTube partners. I would love every teacher to get paid $100,000 a year, at least. That would be great. But where's the money going to come from? How? Like, you can't justify it. The reason we get paid as much as we do is because we're getting paid by advertisers. It's not the government paying us what they believe we should be paid. It's advertisers paying us numerically what we're worth.